I'm emotionally distancing myself from my mother because of a video game stranger. I, 21 female and eldest sibling, have always been a mama's girl. Even when I tried to trick myself into thinking I was a daddy's girl with a dad who I didn't personally know and was barely present, I grew up knowing it was a naive and childish way of thinking. But back then, I was actually an open-hearted and energy-giving child who didn't know about all the bullcrap that my father was doing until I was a late teen. By the way, this comes from user puzzleheadedhome4927, and you can submit your stories on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, to shorten this, let's just say I don't like my biological father for moralistic reasons and because physically he has made me uncomfortable quite a couple times while living with him. I, like many other people my age, had to move back in with my mom and stepdad after 4 of the absolute worst years of my life. My mother wasn't the best back then, and she has taken responsibility for the traumas that she inflicted upon me, which, to be honest, are still pretty hard to get rid of. I thought that maybe when I moved back after leaving my job and us sharing our grief over our lost loved ones who were gone on the same day, hours apart from each other that year, well, things didn't exactly go as planned. My mom has a habit of doing things for people that she thinks they can't do themselves, like my brother cleaning his room or me with applying to jobs for me without telling me. She also has a habit of rushing things when she's excited. So here is the problem. 2 months before I decided it was time to go home and separate from my girlfriend of 2.5 years due to being in an environment too toxic for my age, my mother introduced me to a girl. Wait, it gets better. A girl she met on Roblox.
Okay, I have so many immediate questions. 1, why is she on Roblox? 2, how did she meet this girl? 3, how did she know how old this girl was? 4, how did she get this girl's information from Roblox?
So, I am bi, and my only intent was to be friends with the girl at first. Only planning to be friends, but then my mom started shoving in innuendos and telling her some of the things this girl said about me after she showed her pictures of me. I didn't know any of this until a whole year after she showed it to her. I'm going to call this girl Christina after one of my previous toxic exes. Anyway, my mom tells me Christina had just gotten out of a toxic relationship that my mother was mentoring her through. I accepted this and asked for the girl's number so we could contact each other. Mom gives me the number and she's all excited, saying that our names sound alike and if we got married, it could be a cute ship name. Marriage. I hadn't even seen what the girl looked like yet. Mom's talking about marriage. I hadn't even seen what this girl looked like yet. About a week after talking, we started feeling each other out, but she confessed first, and then I confirmed. Mom ends up calling me at work the next day, panicking and saying that she couldn't get sleep the night before because she thought I hadn't ended things with my ex yet. At the time, I had already ended things and was even sleeping in a different room while living with her at the time. I had a set deadline for when I was going to leave work so I could financially be set until I could find another. Mom continued to rush me, saying I could just quit or make my manager do a transfer. Mind you, we live in an area where there are not a lot of jobs available. I ended up reassuring her that I could handle everything and that it would be okay. I'm an adult. I know how to be one. Yeah, I'm an adult. I have a girlfriend on Roblox, as clearly I'm a fully grown adult.
Yeah, where else do you get your girlfriends from?
Then she said that she felt like introducing us was something she was going to regret. I told her I was willing to show her that she was wrong. Is this
funny.
reverse psychology?
Yeah.
I feel like she's reverse psychologying.
The mom was
OP.
like, I found you this great person. OP was like, stop. Like, this is weird. And she's like, okay, fine. I'll like talk to her. And then she's like, oh, I actually really like her. The mom's like, no, I take it back.
To make a long story short, me and Christina ended up dating, but we had a bunch of toxicity due to our depression and grieving. And though I tried to work it out with her, my mom and dad still preferred that we weren't together. I spared my feelings for them and became friends with her. She agreed. Okay, so now they've gone into the friend zone. She was like, yeah, we're a little too depressed and too grief-stricken to work. Throughout the friendship, it was dry. There was absolutely no chemistry in our conversations besides the occasional flirting. At the time, Mom thought we were still together because of how often we talked. She thought we weren't listening to her, but I literally had no other friends besides Christina. Christina ends up calling me one night and asking me if we're friends. I respond with an avid yes. I also told her that I don't like having options when it comes to falling in love, and that I only had my eye on one person at the moment, her. After revealing the truth, that same day, a guy ended up asking me for my number at work, and I rejected him for her. I told her that if I had to wait for her, I would. On the call, she then proceeded to tell me that I didn't have to wait, and that if I fell in love with someone, I shouldn't stall it for her. She also proceeds to confess to me, because she had a habit of keeping things from me until I found out, that she had spoken with her toxic ex and that they had said that they missed the moments they had together. Mind you, I already set boundaries at that time, specifically stating that if I couldn't speak to my ex, she couldn't speak to hers. So no speaking to exes, especially not after what the ex was doing to her. I said okay to that. Next day I go to work and the same guy comes back and asked me out on a date once more. This time I say yes and immediately told Christina and my mom about it, and then immediately regretted it. Not only did Christina get pissed, but she went and told my mom I'm weird as F for saying yes. The last thing she texted me was to enjoy my date, and I said, I will, and I hope she enjoyed reminiscing with her ex. I blocked her that night, and my mom came for her and verbally defended me.
The mom's kind of coming through.
Emotionally, though, not so much. Next morning, I end up getting cussed out by her because I, quote, severed their 1-year relationship, and that she, quote, told me so because of a relationship she started. So the mom is now mad because she's like, you're messing up my Roblox friendships. She also took full responsibility for starting the relationship. She said she didn't want to hear my side of the story or hear an apology, so I didn't apologize. I went back in my room that day and didn't come out. At first, the reason was to let my mom cool down, but then the next day, I heard my mom on Roblox again with Christina. It was like they had suddenly made up like nothing happened. Earlier this morning, after my younger siblings went to school, she was talking with her on the phone and laughing with Christina all morning before taking me to work in silence. Wow. Mom is low-key like best buddies.
Mom is in love with Christina, and that's why she's trying to sabotage her daughter's relationship. Because at first she was like, oh, I just want to be friends with Christina. I'll let my daughter date her. And then she was like, wait, this whole time I've been in love with Christina.
Yeah, that's why she was like, oh, I regret this because now I can't confess my love. She did not even say bye or I love you back to me before I left the car yesterday. And today, I didn't bother saying it before shutting the door. Mom didn't even seem to mind much. She's not sitting on the couch in the living room when I come home from work anymore. She goes straight to bed along with my younger siblings, like she doesn't even want to look at me. All my life, I've been sacrificing my emotions for this woman and letting her dictate my decisions, only for her to tell me that I'm too grown to be asking her what to do. I was a very sheltered child, and my parents wouldn't let me get my driver's permit when I was 16 and prepared. Yet my first younger brother isn't even 16, and they let him get his. Now I'm a stunted 21-year-old who doesn't drive and is becoming an adult in literally one of the worst time periods in history. I ultimately decided to emotionally detach myself from my mom. I only talk to her for basic needs. I don't tell her anything about my social life anymore, only ask the questions that need to be asked. I have come to terms with the fact that my mother will never understand me emotionally, nor would she ever want to. I've accepted that the only real person that can keep my sanity together is myself. My emotions used to fluctuate based off my mother's. How much time I spent in the living room all depended on whether or not I could read her mind well enough to see if something was going on with her. All of this emotional and mental pressure from being around her, and I still forgave her after everything she's done to me. And she chose to side with a wench she met on Roblox that lives states away, and she only knew for 1 year over her own daughter, who has been pining for her unavailable love and attention and affection since she became conscious. And wow.
You know what I'm conscious of?
You know what I'm pining for y'all to do? I'm pining for y'all to listen to full episodes with stories like this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any platform where you consume podcasts. All you got to do is search OK Storytime, and you've got the whole backlog. You've got everything in the palm of your hand. There it is.
Man, I got 2 thoughts.
Hit me with them.
One, OP says worst time in history for someone to grow up in. That's, you know what? That's not entirely true.
Arguably not a fact.
Arguably not true. You could be a 21-year-old woman in like the 1800s or the 1900s or even 20 years ago. My second thought is this mom has bonded emotionally too much with this Roblox girl, Christina. Like, there's something weird going on there. Even if it's not romantic, it's just like she is prioritizing Christina over her own daughter, and it's strange.
Yeah, that cues you in on the, the hazards, the potential dangers of role-playing in Roblox. You might role-play so well that you actually forget who your real daughter is, and you start prioritizing strangers on the internet over your own family.
Yeah.
So watch out.
But there's a little bit left.
We're going to finish this story right now. So after that enlightenment, I felt the pain, the longing, and the disappointment. I slept it off, let it pass, and was left numb. My face falls when I feel her presence. I don't give her my energy or any personality when I speak anymore. I don't even look at her when I come out of the room. Right now, I'm working, making bread to beat the Gen Z laziness allegations, and I'm not worried about anything else. I will no longer sacrifice my happiness just because of the way others feel. I've been a people pleaser my whole life, thanks to a certain someone, and I'm just now figuring out how to work myself out of it. And I went on that date with the guy. I had an amazing night. I can definitely say it feels good to be selfish for once as the eldest sibling in the family. So give it to me straight. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, I think so. I think when you really think about the delicate dynamics, oh, I'm your daughter. Pay attention to me. It's like, first of all, take a breath. All right. Relax. All right. Grow. Okay. Do a little growth. Maybe if you were better at Roblox, okay, I'd be paying a little more attention to you and you'd actually be involved. But you can't keep character for more than 5 seconds. Okay, daughter?
You keep saying, oh, I don't have enough Robux.
No, okay, clearly you're not the a-hole, and that was just a joke.
Your mom's weird.
Yeah, but I'm glad her weirdness has now started your growth and enlightenment arc. I would hope you've moved on